Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I wanted to talk about the 3 must-have hooks for inshore fishing. Now these 3 hooks that I have here are pretty much what I'm going to have with me on every trip, because you want to be able to cover different water columns. Also, if you're fishing around different types of structure, or also, depending on how you want to present your lure, these 3 different types of hooks will get the job done. So if you take a look at my tackle tray, this is all I bring with me, and for the most part it's all terminal tackle. So I have jig heads and hooks of various sizes and weights. That way I can cover different water columns, also get different presentations and actions out of the lures that I'm throwing. So first up is going to be an owner twist lock hook. These hooks work extremely well with pretty much any soft plastic lure. Now with Z-Man baits, it can be a little difficult to get that spring on there, but it can be done. We do have a video showing a little bit of a hack that you can use to get that spring into Z-Man baits, which are very stretchy and elastic, to make it work. But these work really well for the shallows. So if you're fishing, let's say 3 feet of water or less, I would go with an owner twist lock hook, and depending on the depth and the strength of the current, that will determine which size hook you want to use. A 3/0 to a 4/0 hook works well for pretty much all types of baits, soft plastics that you're going to be throwing inshore. And as far as the weight goes, I go with a 1/16 to 1/8 ounce. Pretty much works in those conditions and that depth range for soft plastics. So as you can see here, I have Alabama Leprechaun. This is our 5-inch jerk shad. This is a custom color for Salt Strong that we have, and just show how to rig it up. Make sure it's centered on the spring. Twist that lure onto the spring. Make sure the spring is all the way in the lure, and then push that hook up through the belly, out through the top of the bait, and then just barely skin hook it, and now you have a nice shallow weedless lure and presentation there that will give this a nice darting action in the shallows for redfish, trout, snook, flounder, tarpon, all sorts of species that hang out in those areas. Now next, I like to have a swim bait style hook, such as the Mustad grip pin hook. As you can see here, this is a 3/0 1/8 ounce, but again, you're going to be matching the hook size to the bait you're using, and also the weight to the depth and the strength of the current that you are fishing in. So again, these hooks work really well with Z-Man baits, so that's why I like to have these with me, just in case I do switch over to a Z-Man bait. So this is the 4-inch diesel minnows, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to rig up on these hooks. So again, through the nose, make sure that bait is centered on the hook, out through the bottom of the bait. Then you're going to see how easily this material pretty much stretches right over that weight. It doesn't tear up like a standard soft plastic would if you were going over that weight right there. Then right over the little keeper that's near the eye of the hook. Then again, up through the belly, out through the top of the lure. Then make sure that hook is flush with the top of the body of the lure. Then you can just barely skin hook it to make it nice and weedless. So again, Z-Man baits, this Mustad grip pin is definitely a must to have with you if you plan on using these baits. So those 2 hooks, the Mustad grip pin and the owner twist lock, those are what I'm primarily using up in the shallows, 3 feet of water or less. Any deeper than that, I will go with a jig head. So the Z-Man Trout Eye Jig Head, perfect little jig head for pretty much any type of soft plastic. Standard soft plastics will work really well on this, and also Z-Man will work really well on these jig heads. So like the Slam Shady 2.0, if I'm fishing 4 feet of water, I'm fishing around docks, and I want to get that bait down quickly, and I want to jig it along the bottom, a jig head will get the job done. Now if you're fishing around oysters and structure and things like that, you may want to go with a heavier either Mustad grip pin or owner twist lock hook. But for the most part, deeper water, stronger current, you're going to want to go with a jig head such as the Trout Eye. So just to show it rigged up on the Slam Shady 2.0, going through the nose, slide that bait up, then out through the top of the body. Push that bait up over the barbs. Give it a little pull back to make sure it's secure. And there you go. So Slam Shady 2.0 rigged up on the Trout Eye Jig Head. And just to show Z-Man really quick, little trick I like to use with Z-Man to get them secure on these types of jig heads. So same thing, go through nose of the bait. Make sure that hook is penetrating the plastic. Sometimes the hook will just push on the plastic. You want to make sure that hook is penetrating the plastic. So you'll sort of feel like a little pop or a little click when that hook starts to penetrate the plastic. Then go through the top of the bait. And this is the trick here. You want to sort of pull the plastic over the barbs. So you can hold the hook from the shank if you need to, and just pull that soft plastic up, almost like you're trying to pull it over the head of the jig head. And there you go. It's on there nice and secure. So all of these hooks and also the lures that I did mention are all on our shop page at fishstrong.com. You can pick them up there. And if you are one of our insider members, keep in mind that you do get up to 20% off all of these products on the shop page. And you even have access to exclusive gear that we don't sell to the public on the shop page. So definitely be sure to take advantage of that. So again, top 3 hooks that I like to have with me when fishing artificials. Owner twist lock hooks in various sizes and weights. That way you can cover different water columns and get some different actions out of your lures. Same thing with the Mustad grip pin hooks. Have different sizes, different weights, you know, everything from a 3/0 to a 4/0. And you know, the weight, anything from about 1/16 to about a 1/4 ounce should get the job done. And then jig heads. The Z-Man Trout Eye Jig Head works really well if you're trying to fish a little bit deeper in that 3-4 feet or deeper zone, just to keep that lure down close to the bottom and in the strike zone. And as far as weights for these jig heads, go anywhere from a 1/8 ounce up to a 1/4, you know, 3/16, and possibly even a 1/2 ounce if you do get into those, you know, deeper, stronger current situations.
If you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club in America because we actually guarantee that you'll catch more fish while saving time and also money on the tackle you need. We do this through premium education, our exclusive insider fishing community, and huge discounts on the best tackle for saltwater anglers. To learn more, go to saltstrong.com. Otherwise, we hope to see you again soon.